some of these black grapes. Oh, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Honest Tattooer Podcast. I was just checking out my Steadfast catalog, which is actually pretty good. Anyways, welcome to the podcast. Brought to you by Tattoo Smart, Tattoo Pro, and Steadfast Tattoo Supplies. My name is John Mesa, and I'm joined by my co-host, Matt Triano.
Hey, how you doing?
And our very special guest. Unfortunately, Gabe is not with us today. He's on babysitting, dude. Is it babysitting if it's your own kids?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that just parenting?
3 weeks in a row, and we had one member of the crew not here.
Yeah.
Sick.
Solid tattooer behavior right there. And now we have our special guest, Tim. Welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming through. For those that don't know you, let them know your name, where you're from, and how you are in the tattoo industry.
So my name is Tim Goergan. I own and operate Gotham Tattoo Removal out of Brooklyn. And I also co-own Ever Black Tattoo Studio with my wife, Nikki Simpson.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nikki.
Shout out, babe.
There we go.
It's funny. Every time she's ever like been on the podcast, I get like FOMO. I'm like, I want to go hang out.
Yeah,
Looks like so much fun. You know?
Next time you definitely got to just come through.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, man. Something that we always talk about with people is tattoo removal. Mm-hmm. And, but almost nobody knows how it actually works.
Gotcha.
Like, how does it actually work? I've come up with like analogies to try to break it down into people, but I would love to hear you.
Yeah.
Explain us.
I give the spiel like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Already. So basically, the ink molecule, it's too big for the body to break down, as you know. That's why it's stuck in there. So the laser shatters the ink underneath the skin into like little tiny particles, which also triggers an injury response in your body. Same as when you get the tattoo, it tries to go heal it. But when it goes to try to heal it, the ink is too big. So that's why it's permanent. So the ink gets broken up by the laser. Injury response gets sent in the body. Then the body takes that broken down ink, flushes it through the bloodstream. So it filters out your pee, your sweat, all that kind of stuff. Usual full removal, I can never say because every tattoo is different.
Yeah.
Every person is different. Usually I say anywhere between 6 to 10 sessions is the window where I try to get them fully gone. Mm-hmm. But me personally, I do a 12 session guarantee. So if I can't get it gone before 12 sessions, the rest is free.
Oh, damn. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the deal with different colors? Don't you have to set the laser for different colors?
Black is the easiest. The only color that I can't guarantee to get rid of is yellow because it's so close to flesh tone. It's hard for the laser to kind of differentiate skin tone to pigment. But yeah, every other color is not easy, but doable.
Easy, better.
Yeah, doable. Yeah.
Man, I had like my full arm lasered, and I remember back in the day, I think there's been many different lasers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, when tattoo removal first started, I think, I don't know, like 2011, 2010, something like that. It was all, I guess, ruby, which is not very powerful. Mm-hmm. And then Q-switch lasers came out with nanosecond technology, then picosecond with picosecond technology. And that's kind of where it's at right now. You can pretty much, as long as your laser has the full spectrum of wavelengths. So 1064 is good for like black, gray inks, sometimes blues, sometimes like deep purples. There's a 694, which is good for blues, greens, anything within that spectrum. Mm-hmm. And then there's a 532, which is good for like pink, red, orange, yellow, sometimes yellow. sometimes
yellow.
It's a good thing that yellow is at least easy to cover up, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, as long as the laser has that spectrum of wavelengths, then it's usually pretty doable to get rid of any color.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you had any experience of like a certain kind of ink that you'd be like, man, this ink was particularly hard to get rid of?
That's an interesting question because I'm not sure exactly what like brand of ink everyone has in their body. Neither do they, Mm-hmm. They're just like whatever the tattooer used. But I'm actually going to have Nikki tattoo like different line weights on me. Yeah. And different like shade, like color spectrum, just so I can remove it off myself and just kind of like better gauge what to do when I see it come through the door,
That's so funny. You always hear tattooers or clients of tattooers like, oh man, have you ever tattooed yourself?
Yeah.
Like I never heard anybody, oh, have you ever lasered yourself?
Yeah. I lasered my whole sleeve.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Dang. You lasered your whole arm.
Yeah. And my chest too.
And your chest. Oh, how was that?
The chest is brutal.
That sounds brutal, dude.
Chest is brutal. I could definitely have to like muster up courage to like get myself to go do it. I have to like mount a phone on like a ring light and like just so I can see what I'm doing.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's brutal.
How's the healing process?
Healing process isn't too bad. There's a lot of misconceptions about like how you should heal a laser tattoo, because everyone thinks like, oh, you're dealing with the skin, you know, slap a bandage on it, slap like petroleum based ointment on it. That traps the heat in the skin, and that causes people to like blister up and get like, you know, rashes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't do any of that. I just tell them keep it clean, keep it out of the sun for a certain amount of time. Don't soak it for like a couple days. And I just send everyone off with an ice pack. As long as you ice it for like the first 15, 20 minutes, all the swelling and the redness goes away after. Like, yeah.
Man, I remember my first time ever getting laser. I had a tribal tattoo, really big tribal, and I started getting it lasered. And dude, it was like this thick, like coming off of my skin, like.
So whoever dug it in there pretty good.
Yeah, like the swelling and like those little bubbles that just came out. They looked crazy.
The blisters,
The blisters were nuts. But as kind of time passed, and then different, I think, you know, the last time that I got lasered, I think they used like a Pico or a Pico Short, one of those things. Yeah. And I was getting no blisters at all by that point. Yeah. And I felt like the technology just got a little better. Where
technology's better. And then what do they have you do for Aftercare?
Nothing. It was just kind of just like.
Well, if you're going to blister, it usually happens like after the first session or two. Yeah. Because there's so much ink in there and it's holding so much heat.
That's probably why.
Yeah. Because usually after that, it's very rare for someone to blister because then, you know, there's not as much ink in there to react. So it's
been broken down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I feel like that first session when you get laser hurts so bad.
The first one hurts. The first one hurts the worst for sure. Yeah. It's that like, first initial reaction.
Especially because like a tattoo, like when the first time you get tattooed, it's always like, oh, I don't know what that's going to feel like, you know, and in your mind, you always think it's going to be worse. Yeah. And then laser happens and you're like, oh, wow, that is just as bad as I thought it was going to be. That's hot. But after it goes by so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tell all my clients, I do it to myself. So I fly through it super quick.
There's different settings too. Like you can boost the power.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to be responsible with that. Otherwise, that's how you wind up with scarring and not as effective results and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a client who was, she was getting her ribs lasered and she was saying that the first couple of sessions, not much has happened at all. Mm-hmm. So the tech was like, all right, well, I'm just going to turn it up to 11 and see what happens.
No. Don't turn it up to 11.
Have you had anybody try to laser off white?
White is kind of tricky sometimes because same with yellow. It kind of lacks pigment. Not like you can see that it's white, but yeah, it's hard for the laser to differentiate it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it can oxidize and turn black. Oh yeah, shit. That's kind of what happened on my arm here. You can see like, I don't know if you can really see, but yeah, there's two eyes here. Yeah, those were whites in the eyes, and then it oxidized and turned black. Whoa! So when that happens, you just treat it as if it's black. And interesting. Then it kind of goes on its own.
Oh, so then you turn it to black, and then you can start hitting it again.
yeah, exactly. I do the same stuff with like eyebrows sometimes because I have a lot of girls that come in with like botched eyebrow jobs, and sometimes those pigments are like super mixed to like achieve a certain shade. So sometimes when you hit it, sometimes it can turn like red or yellow or sometimes green. So then you got to alter your protocols and just make sure that that whatever color it turns, you can get rid of. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So does that make it that like, let's say a realism piece where there's a lot of blending of colors is more difficult to laser off than say a traditional piece is more solid?
Yeah. Yes and no. It depends what the client wants. If they want it fully removed, I'm always transparent and I'm always like, there's a lot of pigment in here. There's a lot of color blends. So like we might not be able to get to like 100% removal. And especially with traditional work, it's the hardest to get rid of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I always tell someone when they come in with like a solid, like technical application is really, really well done. I'm always like, this is going to take some time.
Yeah, like that thing's in there.
It's in there, yeah. But it can be done. Okay. So yeah, it's always good to be on Front Street with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like the just black tattoos are usually the ones that I've seen come off so well. Like
yeah, the 1064 wavelength is tried and true. So yeah, it's
wild. It's like it's the one that looks the boldest, strongest on like the skin. Yet once it gets hit, it's like, oh yeah, I react.
It holds the most pigment. That's why it has the most reaction.
So does a gray wash not go what as well?
Oh, gray wash comes right out.
Oh, it does.
Gray wash that makes me look so good. People come in and like the gray wash comes right out because it's just kind of brushed in there and not much pigment, so it's not super saturated. Okay. So like usually 1 or 2 passes, and if you have like a full like black and gray like portrait type with not a lot of black in there, usually like 2 or 3 sessions and you're good to go to get it covered.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people that today I did a consultation with a client who has like a cover up. Like he's on the 3rd right now. Talking to me, he's trying to do a 3rd kind of cover up deal. And I told him, it's like, laser is always an option, I was like, you don't necessarily need it for if you let me do whatever I think I can do with this.
Right.
As long as you let me kind of just
depends what they want. Because
what they want.
If they have like something bold and they want something dainty over it, it's not going to work.
That's not going to happen.
Or like if they want like a bigger piece, but they want like a lot of skin breaks, like a lot of breathable room, then it's like it's going to show right through. Yeah. Exactly.
I want a face. Like, oh, not gonna happen.
It's going to be if you want full color, maybe, but even then, it's like
even then, like it's like, man.
Steadfast Tattoo Supply, owned and operated by professional working tattoo artist Frankie Porcelli, demanding top performing materials from the highest quality pigments and medical supplies to tailor-made needles and cartridges with true line weights. Steadfast also specializes in custom machines built from scratch in-house and offers professional or group machine building seminars. Steadfast does everything to keep you and your clients covered. Steadfast, supplies that work as hard as you do.
Blueface? Oh man, I feel like that was the thing though. Like in the not mid 2000s. Was it Braden Bond doing a bunch of blue faces? Remember?
Vaguely.
He was doing a lot of like blue face, purple face.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that.
Well, like a new school type of
in a new school kind of way.
Not like an Avatar type of way.
No, not an Avatar type of way. Oh man.
So how long should someone wait from the time of their last laser session to getting tattooed over that spot?
Same as in between sessions for laser, because the industry standard is 6 weeks. I have my clients wait double that, 12 weeks.
Okay. Because
everyone has a different rate of healing. And if you laser it too soon, you run the risk of like building scar tissue, and that's a pain in the ass to get rid of. It's a pain in the ass to tattoo over as well. So yeah, usually after they're ready to get a cover up, 12 weeks until you get the cover up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I've heard so many different variations.
Yeah. I've tried 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, but 12 weeks maximizes the results.
Right.
The skin is super intact.
I've heard like a year, 2 years.
I mean, the longer in between sessions, the better technically. Yeah. Because I have some clients that come to me once a year and they only need like 4 sessions to get rid of a tattoo.
Oh man.
Because the body's going to continually break down the ink over that year.
So will it continue to break down the new ink that's applied?
No.
Why is that?
Because it's not broken down. It's solid.
Okay, I get it.
It like starts the process over again.
Yeah, think of the ink as
it's like a
put in some sheetrock, and then you went in there with a hammer, which is the laser, just broke it up into like little pieces, right? Like unless that hammer, which is the laser, gets over it, it's still just it's just in there.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if there was sheetrock before. We just laid some new sheetrock.
Yeah. Okay. I was using the analogy like concrete and a jackhammer.
Yeah,
it's like you go in a little bit, your body comes and cleans it up, go back in and a little bit more. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
All right, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing I'll tell you from experience, like the areas that got lasered, like because I had this full right arm lasered completely.
I think when we first started hanging out, it was like almost clean.
Yeah, it was almost clean. I got it to like pretty much a clean arm.
Yeah,
and I'm really happy with it because like there's a lot of negative space.
Yeah, exactly.
Through it, and you're like, it's bright. You would never know.
Yep.
But it, I could definitely tell a difference in sensitivity of my skin in areas where I got like the most laser, like when I was getting tattooed, I waited like a long time, even after I had it, but it was still like overall, like scar tissue was there from the tattoo, probably not necessarily from like the laser, but from the tattoo still being there. Got like, you know, even though it's no longer there.
How many sessions deep were you?
Man, I think I did at least 10 or 12.
Yeah.
At least 10 or 12 total.
That's close to full removal there.
Yeah.
So,
And was each session the entire arm? Or was it like
No,
parts of your arm?
No,
it was
you,
parts.
you can only do so much at once.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's too much for your body to handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
like sometimes it would just be this. Sometimes it's like just full out.
yeah, I do sections. So typically a full sleeve is usually 5 sections, like inner forearm, outer forearm, inner bicep, shoulder, outer arm, and then tricep. Usually,
Because like your
depending how
body's-
much you're getting. Yeah.
your body's trying to push that out. So like
Yeah.
your own body's going to be like overworked. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's, and a dude like me who was fucking drinking and doing all kinds of shit. Well, I was like, dude, doing it completely wrong. Like when you're getting lasered because your body's like working overtime trying to get rid of this thing, you're supposed to drink tons of water, like try to live a healthy life.
It helps the process for sure.
It does.
I joke around with everyone. I'm like, I'm not a life coach or anything, but like, because people always ask, it's like, can I do anything to like expedite the process? And it's always like, if you eat a healthy diet, regular exercise, drink a lot of water, no smoking cigarettes, because that restricts blood flow in the body.
Oh shit.
That usually kind of helps expedite the process. I have like clients that are like personal trainers or like professional athletes and stuff, and their tattoos are gone in significantly less sessions.
You
than-
see the
Wow.
difference
Yeah,
right
definitely.
away. And then even when I was getting lasered, I had to take breaks. Like you don't want to be in the sun at all. Like there was one summer where I got lasered and I was like, even with a shirt
Mhm.
over it, if the sun was hitting that shirt, I felt like I was internally hot. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that feels hot.
Yeah. Well, you want to keep it out of like prolonged direct sun exposure for at least 3 to 4 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
feel hot. You're like,
Yeah.
wow, that thing's toast.
Now, just because of that, because you feel hot, or is there other dangers?
Basically what's happening, you're causing tissue damage. So when you go in the sun and like you get tan, that's your, that your tissue getting melanated.
Yeah.
So when you cause tissue damage, that's not going to turn tan, and it's going to either hypopigment or hyperpigment. Hypo is when the loss of pigment. Hyper is when it gets darker. So it's good to like make sure that your skin is fully healed before you go and alter it.
Maybe you would
In the
know what
sun.
happened to my guy's hand today.
Yes.
So I have a client that I tattooed a tiger. Was it a tiger? Lion?
Tiger.
It was a tiger.
Tiger.
Right? Tiger on his hand, and he wanted the blue-green eyes.
Mhm.
And he's of John's color. He's a
Yeah.
little brownish.
Little brown man.
So the color, it was like a teal aqua-ish color that I put in for the eyes. And one of the eyes healed really, really dark brownish. And he
Okay.
came to me today. He's like, what can you do about it? I really didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I wound up going over it again with a lighter color, but
Mhm.
I don't really expect that to do much of anything at all.
I just
I did sun
realized that
exposure.
in my hand, like this are blue eyes, like on this guy, on this lady,
Oh, yeah.
and when I got them here, like same thing,
Yeah.
and this like same kind of teal color, like look on my hand. How
Yeah.
it's always kind of, it looks dark first and then it takes a really long time
lightens
for
up,
it
yeah.
to like lighten up.
Yeah, melanated skin is tricky, especially with laser. Like I can't laser color out of melanated skin because the wavelength for color is really aggressive. So it can possibly take out the natural melanin out of the person's skin with the color.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
So I got to be like really, really careful. Like your skin tone is like
So lasers
right
are
on the
racist.
cusp. Yeah.
So I actually had a few spots on my arm where there were like tiny little like albino speckles of my
where
skin,
the
bro.
pigment fell
Where
out.
the pigment was
Yeah.
completely
Oh,
gone,
shit.
and it just looked like a little tiny clear piece of skin,
Yeah.
dude.
I have a little bit in like the red over here. You can barely see it, but I have like really olive skin tone because I'm mostly Italian. So yeah, just went a little too hard on the red, and then the pigment fell out, and just kind of hope that it comes
How
back.
does it affect the hair in your skin?
It doesn't affect the hair. It'll singe the hair follicle, which is what that smell is. I don't know if you've ever been lasered before.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, some people, is that my flesh? I'm like, no, it's
No,
just
it's
just
not
the hair
your flesh.
follicle. But it changes like the hair white if you have like a super dark arm hair or whatever.
Permanently?
No, just for like the first like 15 minutes or so, and then the pigment comes back. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Same thing with eyebrows. If I laser someone with like super dark eyebrows, I'm like, if you look in the mirror, they're gonna be white for a little bit. Don't bug out. It's gonna come back. But that doesn't like kill the hair or anything.
The guy who taught me how to tattoo, he wanted to get his beard, like the actual beard hair, lasered off. But because he was older, he was going gray. They told him that he couldn't do it because there was no pigment for the laser to actually hit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they told him that if he wanted to get his arms done, which were still black, he would actually kill the tattoo underneath that also. Is that true?
Yeah. So you can't get hair removal if you have a tattoo under it.
Okay.
Because it's essentially eliminating the pigment in the hair and the hair follicle. So if you do it over a tattoo, it's going to do like a tattoo removal laser, but it's a different technology. So if you do it hair removal laser over a tattoo, it's just going to burn the shit out of your skin.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Bad news.
Learning so much.
Yeah. I know.
glad I can come, share some knowledge.
No, we're learning about laser because it's good. It's like, I feel like everybody feels like they know something about it, but then it's always like vague.
I tell my clients all the time because I get asked so often about like how much does it cost, how long does it take, how many sessions do I need, and I flat out was like, I have no idea.
No idea.
Don't ask. I have no idea.
Usually for cover up stuff, because I imagine we're in a tattoo shop. That's mostly what people want. Usually I say 3 to 4 sessions, 12 weeks in between, depending on the tattoo. Obviously, if it's darker, you usually get to like the 5 or 6 session range, and depending what they want to get it covered with.
Right.
So I work with a lot of shops in the city and lockstep with a lot of artists. So if they have anyone that they send to me and I'm just like, hey, keep your artist in the loop. If they need me to do another session, I'm happy to do another session. And it's been great with working with all the artists in the city.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I've gotten some clients from here too. So
yeah. I've sent people over there, man. Like how accurate are lasers nowadays? Like you get like down to the size of like a eraser tip.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, because you usually start at a 5 millimeter, which is the deepest you can go in the skin, at least with my laser. Some other lasers go a little bit deeper. But it comes down to the skill of the technician.
Okay.
Some people like have like white makeup pencil to like outline stuff that they don't want to hit, especially if it's like next to other tattoos. I did that when I was first starting. Now I rip it. My accuracy is pretty dead on. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, because it's kind of like an invisible little shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Russ Abbott. I am the founder of Tattoo Smart. I've also been tattooing for over 25 years. I use digital design tools in my tattoo process every day. And in this case, this video is going to explain a new product that I just created called the washi set. Now, the washi set is 17 handmade papers from Japan that I photographed and then turned into paper texture backgrounds, which you can use in Procreate. It also includes 21 different brushes that were designed for using with these papers, or it could be used with any background that you choose. As always, if you're interested in purchasing this or any of our other products, you can get them at tattoosmart.com.
Have you ever I've thought about this. Have you ever just wanted to put little ink caps far away and just hit them with your laser across the room?
I've been tempted to like put like a dartboard up.
Yeah.
Because when the laser gets further away from something, the more powerful it becomes. So that's why there's a little guide on it, so you know exactly how far away from the skin you should be. Otherwise, you could fuck someone up. So yeah, I've been tempted to like just aim it at the wall and just
to see it
pop off some pulses. Yeah.
I've always thought about that. I'm like, dude, it reacts to ink. Well, you could put that thing on anything.
Yeah.
Like, pow.
Yeah.
That's racking my brain. How does it get more powerful the farther away it gets?
It's pretty much like a magnifying glass with the sun. So I forget if you go closer. If you go further, the smaller the light beam becomes. So the more intense it becomes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, because basically the laser is like a high powered light. I'm not like shooting like actual lasers. But
Yeah.
It's just like a high powered light that's attracted to pigment. So if you laser over like some that doesn't have a tattoo, you'll feel
it feels
nothing.
like nothing.
But I feel like a little tiny tickle, but that's about it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
Science.
Yeah. Guys, science. That's pretty good.
All right, forgive me for sounding dumb, but if like you're sitting over there and I'm over here, can you actually like bing hit me with it?
I've never tried it, but yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
God damn it. I hope somebody from Jackass is listening to this right now and come see Tim and make this happen, dude.
I'm down. Steve-O, hit me up, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Hit me up, dude.
If you like drive-by laser removal.
Yeah, right.
Get someone in the neck, be like, bam!
Bam, that's so good.
You need quite the generator in your car, dude.
Man, that's
my machine's like 600 pounds. I think it's
shit.
huge. Yeah.
It's a big boy.
It's a big, beefy boy.
And does it run like a 220 type of deal? Like
220, yeah. 220 volt. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What are the qualifications you have to be certified?
In every state's different. So New York, you just needed to go through the proper certification course and proper training or you don't. All you need is like the certification course. You should go through the training just to know like all the different skin types, different tattoo types, different color types. I would say like I quote unquote apprenticed for about 6 months before I was allowed to laser someone by myself. But since then, yeah, I've been doing this almost 7 years now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. I feel like at some point I heard that doctors were the only ones that were allowed to do that.
Yeah. So just to give you like a scope of like the tri-state area. So New York, you just need to be certified. You need to carry the proper insurance too. Forgot about that part. So yeah. Certification, proper insurance. And then Connecticut, you need to be an MD needs to be like either present or operate the laser itself. But if you own like a company, you can be the one like to, give them directions on like how to use the machine, like settings and stuff. Same thing in like Jersey. Pennsylvania, I think, is the same as New York. Massachusetts, same as New York. But then you go like out west, and I think California, you need an MD. And then it gets kind of like wishy-washy from there. I can't remember like what every state's regulations are.
Yeah, but that's still wild. Like that in one place they're like, you need a doctor, and the other guy's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that would suck if they eventually like redid the regulations. I think I'd be grandfathered in if that were to happen, just because I've been doing it for so long with no incidents. Knock on wood. But yeah.
How did this all come to be for you?
It's a good question. I'm gonna grab a dirty before I
let's get
go
dirty
into it. Yeah.
The good old dirty water.
Dirty water.
It is good. It almost has a little like a vanilla flavor to it.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. They're on the come up, so
it's good.
All right. So how I got into laser. So before I got into the tattoo industry at all, I was in a touring band for about 10, 12 years called Within the Ruins. Toured the world, did the whole nine. That's actually how I met Nikki. Met her on tour out on the West Coast. And we got to talking, and then she eventually moved here. And then I stopped touring because it was just too hard on my body. I was living in a van for 8 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Takes its toll for sure. So I had to make the tough decision to retire from touring full time. And then I was an Uber driver for a minute. And I was like, did that for a while, and it was all right. And I was like, all right, what's next? Because I never had a plan B.
Yeah.
Because I did music for so long. And then eventually I got my upper arm lasered at Addicted to Ink, as Nikki was working there out in White Plains by Gian. Shout out Gian. Love that guy. And through that process, I just kind of got interested in it. And I was like, I want to be involved in the tattoo industry somehow. Because at that point I was like booth bitching for Nikki, like selling her prints and stuff and just doing whatever she needed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want like my own hustle within the tattoo industry. And then, I got with the right people and got certified and trained and worked for one company for a little while. That company got bought out and I started my own thing. So I've been doing Gotham for 3 years this October. It'll be 3
years. Good shit, man.
Yeah.
Congrats,
that's awesome.
dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super pumped.
It's like doing something in the tattoo industry that is not tattooing is fucking hard.
It's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
It's fucking hard.
Plus I do like the back end of the shop, and I do all like the business side of Everblack and stuff, and book all the guest artists and all that kind of stuff. And Nikki handles the like artist relations stuff. I keep the lights on and the rent paid. But it's a good dynamic for sure.
That's
cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great dynamic.
What is it like working with your wife?
It's great because
You have to say that.
Yeah.
She's listening to
yeah. Love you, babe. Yeah, we're definitely be watching this together at some point. No, it's great. It's great. We have a really good work dynamic. She works 2-3 days a week, full days. I'm in there 6 days a week. And usually I'm pretty booked, so I'm pretty much in and out all day, and she's busy tattooing. So there's no like
not a ton of overlap.
Yeah, exactly. There's no like bickering or anything like that because she's busy, I'm busy. And then at the end of the day, we get to, go home together. It's pretty tight.
That's cool.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So by being busy all the day, what does that look like? How many clients are you looking at?
Typically on a normal day, 5 to 6 clients. I'm usually open weekdays, like 7-8 hours, weekends kind of varies, 4 to 3 hours. A normal busy day is like 10 to 12 people a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I'm just pumping them out.
That's cool.
Each client gets a half-hour block.
Nice.
So yeah, it fills up pretty. My weekends fill up pretty good, understandably, because that's when people can come in. But weekdays are typically like 5 to 6 people per day.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds
awesome.
like more people are getting lasered than getting tattooed,
That's true.
right?
Do you find that more people are getting their tattoos for the sake of like, I just don't want this, than people that are getting them for this, like, oh, I want to get a bigger tattoo or a cover up or.
Yeah, I try to like gauge. I should probably like record my own metrics of like who's getting what done.
Absolutely.
Kind of do it that way.
You
I'm
have
just
amazing data that you're.
yeah. I'm just kind of like spitballing. It's like I usually say 60% of people want stuff faded for a cover up, 40% want it completely gone. Just because it is a long process. Like full removal can be anywhere between 1.5 to 2 years. So I'm always on Front Street with people. I'm like, hey, if you want to like get it faded enough, you want something over it, go for it. I know plenty of artists throughout the city I'm happy to hook you up with. But yeah, some people just want it completely off their body.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy to oblige.
You know, it's fuck. I've thought about getting my hands lasered, like to just not have hand tattoos.
Interesting.
There's something about like
I just got my hand done like 2
you just
months
got
ago.
your hand done.
Yeah.
But it's like there's something about once you like if you're wearing a suit, if I'm wearing a full suit, even if it's up to here, even with my neck tattooed, it doesn't look like I'm really that tattooed at all.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that because before I had my hand tattooed, I could wear like hoodie and pants and no one knows
even
tattooed.
knows.
Yeah.
You should get both your hands lasered off and then do the Japanese sleeves. on the thumbs.
Yeah, the Japanese sleeves and stuff. Dude, that was so good. I wish he would have put his hands like the other way so they look like a little chest.
We saw a guy that his thumbs up to like whatever this part of your hand is called.
The
it
nook?
looked like sleeves with a chest panel.
Yeah,
shit.
like a
Little Japanese waist.
a Japanese sleeve with a chest panel.
Oh my god,
like
that's silly.
sleeve to chest right there. Dude. It was so funny,
That's silly.
but it was well done.
It was well done.
and it was healed, and that thing looked like it was in there.
Both hands.
Both hands, bro.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, sometimes people come in and they have like really well done tattoos, and I always have to like check them. I'm like, sure you want to get rid of this? This is like a solid tattoo.
Oh, I'm curious.
Yeah. Some people like it doesn't match their aesthetic anymore, or like it's attached to like a painful memory in their life, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, respect.
Yeah.
I don't dig too deep, but I do have to ask when it's a good like well done tattoo.
Like,
I'm
you
like,
really want to get rid of this?
just making sure.
Yeah.
That probably is not as often as the bad tattoos, though, right?
No, not as often. It every so often, like once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
But it does happen.
I'm curious, what was the coolest tattoo that you liked that you were like, oh, damn, I got to laser this, dude?
I forget the name of the artist that did it, but it was like super like realism, dark art type stuff. I forget the name of the artist though. But I was like, dude, this is sick. You sure? He's like, yeah, over it.
Yep.
Don't want it no more.
Like, I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this dark art anymore.
Yeah.
Like I convert. Oh, man.
What did you think about ephemeral?
Ephemeral, you can't remove it.
Well, it's supposed to remove itself, right?
Yeah. But I've had people come to me and they're like, yeah, I got this and it's not fading the way they thought it would. It's like it's been a year or two and it's still very much there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I lasered it for the first time, I think like 4 years ago and nothing happened. And then I guess like maybe like 6 months ago, someone came and they're like, can you remove this? I'm like, it's been a while. Maybe they changed the composition of the ink. You can come in for a test spot. Still nothing happened.
Nothing.
Do you know why?
I don't know like the composition of the ink. So
They're still. I thought they stopped. They're still doing that.
not sure.
They're selling the ink.
They're selling.
They're
Sure.
selling the ink.
I thought they got like they went to like there was like lawsuits and they had to shut down everything.
They shut down like the shops that were like
Yeah,
destined to be.
there was one in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
When I first started Gotham, I was going around to shops like dropping off business cards and stuff because I laser artists for free
Mhm.
just in exchange for like client referrals and stuff.
Right.
And I went there and I was like, hey, started a tattoo removal company. He's like, if I drop off business cards, they're like, yeah, they told us not to talk to any laser guys. I was like, ouch.
Like,
Dagger to the heart. Damn, all right. She's like, oh, we do temporary tattoos, like ephemeral. I was like, oh, so you're not a real tattoo shop.
Oh,
Nah, I
man.
didn't say that. And I said it in my head, obviously, but yeah.
But now they got a bunch of issues because not those tattoos aren't coming off.
And you can't laser them, which is,
That's wild. I wonder why. I wonder what it is about it. that
I
you can laser.
never looked like too into it because it is pigment. So essentially it should react, but I don't know.
Do you think like you're gonna get some magic ink show up one of these days?
Eventually, I'm sure.
We're like,
I forgot about that.
yeah, like
that's the
how's
one
that gonna work?
with the light like activated. Yeah.
Yeah, with the light.
Didn't you buy it? I thought you bought a little bit of it.
I didn't buy. No, Alina bought some. Who was on the pod just recently? She told me she bought some and she still hasn't received it.
Wait, so you bought it? It hasn't showed up yet?
She hasn't gotten it. She
Gotcha.
said she bought it like as soon as he released it. Like
Yeah, it's been like months now.
it's been months.
It's not a year, right?
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
said that she like reached out to them asking like, "Hey, when am I going to get this?" They're like, "We're already fulfilling orders, but we're filling them in the order that they were received." Which is like a very politically good answer.
Sure.
That doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything. That's really good. I'm like, man, that's good.
All right.
Okay.
I will address your complaint in the order that is received.
Yeah.
Wait your turn. You're like,
Never.
when is that? Like, never. That's pretty good.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man, I was talking to my client yesterday because he brought up Magic Ink.
Mhm.
And he said, and I don't know how accurate this is, but he was talking about that. Supposedly, if it's UV, that the ink itself can only like switch so many times before it just kind of stays stuck in one of the two.
Interesting.
You know, because it's supposed to be something that molecularly it's able to change.
Yeah, yeah.
But with the light.
Once the UV hits
But
it.
it was something of like, you can only do it so many times before it eventually kind of like stops being able to like switch in and out.
Right. At that point, do you have to tattoo over it again with the magic ink?
I would think so.
Yeah. But at that point, you're like putting more ink in, and then like when you activate it, it's going to look all blown out and shit,
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna look
Yeah.
different.
I wonder if it's the same with the black light responsive ink that used to be like early 2000s.
Right.
I had tattooed my brother with that, and it does not.
It doesn't
anymore.
look anymore. In the beginning, it probably was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's bright. And then it's like over time, it just goes away.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the things about like every 10 years or so, there's some kind of new gimmick.
Mhm.
Kind of new gimmick.
Yeah.
Now it's like every 10 days. There's a
There's every 10 days.
It's like, what was the last one? You kind of like forget about it. Like it just goes.
standstill. I think is the latest one.
That's the new thing, which
What was that?
that's the stencil.
It's like you tattoo through the stencil.
Tattoo through a stencil.
Oh shit. I've not heard about this.
Yeah, it's a clear stencil that you print out on your regular printer,
Mhm.
and instead of transferring the stencil to the skin
Mhm.
and then removing the paper, the stencil stays on the paper. So if you need to reposition the stencil, you just reposition it. You don't have to like clean off the skin.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's one of those things that's apparently very safe, and you can just tattoo right through it, and then I just
Interesting.
wipe it away, and then you color it in.
Damn.
We actually
Didn't know that was a thing.
are
Interesting.
dying to try it out. I'm dying to try this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I just have to find the right person to try it on.
A consenting person or just the right tattoo?
I guess the right person.
Do you have room? You could try it on yourself.
I would not want to try it on. I'm like, one, I don't have room to tattoo myself.
That's what I said. Do you have any
I
room?
have no room to tattoo
For me, I just
myself.
like right on the ankle
a
here.
little ankle.
Yeah.
I guess I could go down there if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But then like, ow,
Yeah.
ankles hurt.
Ankles hurt.
Where are
don't
you
have
planning on
ankles.
doing your little test spot?
Definitely, on either ankle. Yeah. So probably on this one, just like a little grid of, 3-liner, 5, 7, whatever. And then, have her label that and then do like a color spectrum in between the lines. Yeah. And then go from there.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm excited. Excited to,
You gotta do at least like a photo with the same light and background, at least like every week.
I would do like every session. Every week is be like,
Well, to see the fade.
I would do maybe twice, like once at 6 weeks, once at 12 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not like the fading isn't like that gradual. It's like,
It
why?
probably is. You just don't see it.
Maybe, I don't know.
It probably. That's what I'm saying. Like it would be cool if you did it, then eventually put them all together, so we could just see like a
Let's do a time lapse of it.
do a little
I'll do
time
it
lapse
once
with
a
the
week.
photos,
Just for shits.
just for shits.
Yeah. It's usually tattoo removal. I joke around with everyone. Like, it's like watching paint dry. I'm like, usually, especially after the first session, you're not going to see too much of a difference. But yeah, because the process is all relying on your body. The laser just makes it all possible. So I'm like, manage expectations. Like, hey, you're probably not going to see like any like noticeable results until after session 2 or 3. So Yeah.
So explain to me the videos that I've watched. You see like the spots that the laser's hitting turns white.
Yes.
And then it looks like, oh wow, that's
It's gone.
Yeah, I wish. That'd be great.
What's happening there, and then what happens after that?
I personally call it laser snow because obviously it turns white, looks like snow. So basically what's happening is the laser hits the pigment and the pigment explodes under the skin, and the moisture in your skin gets evaporated. So that's essentially what that whiteness is.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah. So also when that happens, it makes it impossible for you can double laser it. And some people that don't know what they're doing, they kind of like stutter and like double laser stuff all the time.
Oh,
Because if you put too many pulses in the skin at once, that's how you get scarring.
Okay.
But yeah, once the black ink turns white, there's not as much a reaction because it's white and it doesn't react to the laser. But yeah, after like the first 15, 20 minutes, the whiteness fades, tattoo comes back, and then the body starts absorbing the broken down ink, and you start to see little pieces start breaking up little by little.
when I got lasered up in here, like over stretch marky areas, that was an interesting feeling.
Yeah.
That felt weird.
Any tendy skin.
Yeah.
Oof. It'll let you know you're alive.
Oh man. I was like, wow, that's a lot. I was like, that is a lot.
Yeah. My first appointment's usually at like 11 a.m. And if people come in and they're like, good morning, but you're about to feel alive as hell.
You have to wake up.
Have you ever done a laser inside someone's lip?
Yes.
How does that feel?
I mean, I wouldn't know personally, but not too bad. Not too bad.
You usually treat that different?
Yeah. So I usually send people home with a little bit of mouthwash. Just tell them to rinse their mouth like once an hour over the course of like the first 6 hours or so, just to keep it clean. But there's a lot of blood flow in the mouth. So those tattoos tend to come out relatively easy, depending on how they're applied, of course.
Ah, the blood flow.
Yeah.
It's all about the blood flow.
Yeah. So anything like closer to the heart is going to fade quicker than anything like on your foot or something like that.
It's good to know.
Yeah. So anything like on the neck, the head, the chest, from the elbows up, the knees up, does fades quicker than anything below that.
I've heard things of like doing what's it called? Like micro needling or something, like before you get lasered for that same blood flow idea that's supposed to increase blood flow. Is that true?
I never have done it or have had anyone do it. I'm not opposed to trying it out, but yeah, I don't have any experience with that.
Yeah, I've heard of that. People will use like, it's like a little rolly thing that has like all these little pokey needles, and you just kind of
like lymphatic massage can help. It's because it's all going through your lymphatic system. Not like a great deal, but it's it can't hurt to do that. It's kind of massage. There's bullshit sitting in and toxins sitting in there anyway, so it's good to do that regardless. Yeah.
What kind of like risks are there for laser?
So the only risks really is if I tell everyone if you laser too frequently or if you go to someone that's using the settings irresponsibly. That's usually when you get scarring and fucked up stuff like that. Or if you're, trying to remove color off of dark skin. Yeah, I feel bad sometimes people are like, darker skin tone and they have like a straight up red tattoo and they want me to get rid of it. I'm like, I can't touch it. I'm sorry. Unless you like sign a consent form specifically for me to scar you, then then I'll do it. But yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, there's nothing.
Unfortunately, the technology is just not out there. It just doesn't exist.
Well, I think it's just a matter of just color.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't change the rules of color. It's the way that it is.
Absolutely.
I guess my question was more so like, so tattoo ink, let's for lack of better words, is poison. Okay.
Yeah.
And if it's just sitting in your skin, it's not really going through your body, not going through your bloodstream or anything for the most part. So in that sense, let's say, for lack of better words, it's safe.
Yes.
But then once you laser it, now it's like going through your body.
Correct.
So does that make it more of a hazard than anything else?
It's all FDA approved and stuff. And there's been studies. If tattoo ink, when lasered, does it cause cancer? Nothing that I've seen directly correlates with that. That's why in Europe, they're kind of doing stuff with the pigments and stuff, with the blue and the greens, I believe, right?
Shit, dude. Have you taken your machine like on the road to like, like kind of like?
I personally haven't. A company I worked for before this, they did. Mm-hmm. It's very expensive to move the machine. Right? Yeah. Plus, to rent a booth at a convention and stuff is very expensive because I'm just solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it expensive just to move the machine?
Just insurance stuff, and you have to hire like a specific company to do it and stuff. Or I can rent a laser, but even that is still expensive.
Yeah.
I still go to conventions, like hand out cards, shake hands and stuff. But
how much is a machine?
Depends. Brand new, like spanking new, like right off the press, probably like 120 grand, something around there.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's a really nice car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a really shitty house.
A really shitty house. Really nice
Depending
car.
where you are.
Really shitty house.
But yeah, that's the top of the line, brand new, not one pulse fired, usually within that price range.
Damn.
Yeah.
I remember a friend of mine in Spain had like a $1,500 laser that you could buy from like eBay.
Oh yeah, those are terrible.
Yeah, they are, dude.
Those are terrible.
And
I've seen those. You like hold it like far away, and like you start bleeding as soon as it hits the. Yeah. I'm like, oh my god.
And like the size of it's so tiny.
Yeah, it's like a pin.
Yeah, it's so small.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, we tried it on her. Like, yo, let's try this out. Okay. He was like, pap. And she's like, oh shit. It's so bad, dude. So bad. Oh man.
You ever see those guys who they're using like the home laser engravers and they stick their arms in it and they try to remove their tattoos?
What?
Yeah.
Like very similar to like the laser engraver that I have.
Yeah.
They'll just put their arm underneath that.
I have seen that.
No way, bro.
Yeah. It's funny because my best friend said that to me one day. He was like, AI's coming for your job, bro. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here, bro.
But yeah, I have seen that. Not in person, obviously, just on the internet. Yeah.
That can't be the same, right?
I don't know. I don't know anything about those machines.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
if it's attracted to pigment, sure. Then I don't know how deep it's going, yeah. I don't know what it looks like a couple days after.
I mean, I could tell you with the laser that I've got, I could, with a few passes, I can cut through 3/4 inches of wood.
Yeah, it's gonna go through.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Can you do metal with your laser?
Yes and no. So the laser will actually bounce off of the metal, like it's reflected off of that surface.
Yeah.
But you can apply a material on top of the metal, so it'll actually stay within it, and you're lasering off the material that you're putting on top of the metal,
and it'll kind of just
like etching that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh man, I'd love to like put a design on my like MacBook.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, that it does, because that's like a, what is that, like anodized aluminum or whatever?
I have no idea.
That could be done. That's
cool.
Yeah.
What do you use the engraver for?
Just to fuck around.
Sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have a lot of toys I just use to fuck around.
Matt should have a channel called Matt Makes Stuff, because Matt makes so much stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I seen your videos with like the prints and stuff.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
He had a lot of toys.
For that, he made wood stuff like this.
I made that table.
That's awesome. My dad he had like a cabinet shop, and we did construction together when I was growing up. So yeah, we had like all the sick tools.
Yeah.
All the sick. He had his shop up in Danbury. And I wasn't very good at it. I was just kind of following his lead, like kind of like making cabinets and stuff. But yeah, he could do all the sick shit.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I used to do it a lot. Kids kind of slowed me down a little bit. I got a full wood shop in my garage at home.
Nice.
And because I haven't been doing a lot of woodworking lately, a lot of tools are just sitting there getting dusty. And Nicole the other day, she was like, why don't we turn the garage into a gym? I was like, no.
No, that's my
you know what wood shop. Don't touch a man's wood shop.
You should totally just rent your spot to people that want to make stuff. So when you're not using it for like an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of
red tape and insurance for sure. Yeah. Sign this waiver. If you chop your hands off, it's not on me. Yeah.
God damn, what a business, dude.
You never know, dude.
Insurance is on everything.
A lot of times it's a racket, but a lot of times it's a good thing that's there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will agree.
Yeah.
Sammy's in the Cub Scouts, and last year, one of the dads put together a knife making day in his garage with all like the 7-year-old kids.
What?
And I'm like, how is this like how is he getting away with
a knife?
Oh my God.
in your house, in your garage, all these kids wailing knives around?
I mean, it sounds sick if you're a kid. You're like, fuck yeah, I want to make some knives.
I want to go all the way back to your music days because I feel like that's a part of your career that I don't know a whole ton of, man.
Yeah, that's I mean, before I started doing this, it's like kind of what people knew me for. Yeah.
Yes.
Since I was like 16 years old. Yeah. I've been a vocalist in bands since I was 16, all metal stuff. Started touring in a signed band when I was 22.
Dang.
23, something like that. And then, stopped in 2018. But I got to tour the world, see the world, put out 5 albums. And
that's awesome.
I still have a band here in New York City. Just kind of local. We're not doing anything serious. We're not going to tour full time or anything, but just play locally, do some regional stuff. We're writing and recording for an EP right now. Band is called Blood Throne.
Blood Throne.
It's a super metal name. And yeah.
That's sick.
I love it. I stopped doing it for a while and I was like, it like my soul hurt, because it's like in my blood.
Do you have a shirt with that scratchy metal lettering?
Actually, Nikki did our logo.
Yeah.
It's actually really sick. She did a great job on it. But yeah, nothing scratchy. It's just kind of like I don't know if you know the band Behemoth at all.
No.
I forget the font. It's like a specific type of font, but yeah, just go check us out at Blood Throne Official on Instagram.
Nice.
And you'll see the logo for sure.
Good shit, man.
Yeah.
What was one of your favorite places to visit?
Favorite in the States or in the world?
In the world.
Japan was my favorite place to tour. It was wild just being that far from home.
You had a fan base out there?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
I had no idea. And we played, 5 shows out there. Every show was sold out and
wow.
Everyone knew the words, which was insane to me.
Oh, dude, I'm trying so hard to not get canceled by doing my Japanese accent.
And they're
it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, they're super gracious out there too. Super appreciative. Usually we play shows and people come up and say hey or whatever, but over there, everyone at the show lined up to shake our hand, take pictures,
cool,
sign stuff. It was super cool. And besides that, I've been all over Europe. Played Russia once and Ukraine once. Can't do that no more.
Dang.
Yeah, which is again I didn't know we were big over there, but it was 800 kids a show. It was crazy.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, super cool.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then the States, obviously. I always say in the States, New York City is, I'm born and raised here, so I got New York pride. So New York shows.
What's your favorite venue here
to play? I would say Gramercy is super tight, but Irving Plaza was definitely a check off the bucket list.
That was a cool place.
Yeah, because I grew up going to shows there, so it's Irving Plaza was definitely cool. Definitely a cool moment.
I saw Bad Brains there, and it was such a cool thing. I was like, oh, it's like when you see when you listen to a band and you always hear them in their heyday, and you're like, fuck, man, I wish I could have seen them. And then they're all of a sudden they get all back together. We're gonna do one show. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Dude, a lot of bands are doing that now. Just reunion, one-offs or one-off tours and stuff. And they're usually selling out tours and stuff. It's hey, nostalgia sells, man.
Nostalgia definitely sells.
It definitely sells. And it's funny because your fan base that now goes to shows, they're all older and stuff, so they buy mad merch because they have money now.
Yeah, that's very true.
Have you ever heard of the band Just Surrender?
I have heard of them. I never heard them though.
They're doing a 20-year reunion one-off show here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at their Instagram page, it's got a couple of 100 followers, maybe 1,000 followers. When they announced that they were doing the reunion show, thousands and thousands of comments and shares.
What the hell?
Hell yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bands that were before the social media days, even MySpace days. It's funny, looking back at dude, bands used to get huge off MySpace.
Yes.
Insane. Crazy. I used to book tours myself off of MySpace. It's my messaging promoters, when I get off of work, just, all right, we're booking a full US. I gotta find shows in between wild, X, Y, and Z,
Man, I was talking to someone about how I feel in the past, I feel you found out through bands in so many different ways. Now it's everything is I heard a reel or something in social media and I heard that song because I barely listened to the radio.
Right.
or if it's not recommended to me in some sort of like the algorithm.
Yeah, like a playlist.
A playlist.
That's why like Apple Music and Spotify are cool now.
Yeah,
it's a good way to find new music that you otherwise wouldn't
listen to.
Yeah,
it's I'm watching something and I'm like, oh, what's that?
Yeah,
listen to that song.
I think I'm still the only one that uses Amazon Music.
You use Amazon Music?
Yeah.
That's wild. I only use it like when I'm using.
It's like you and Bezos.
I only use it when
it's good though.
When I'm using like Alexa, that's the only time I really use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the shop, we use Pandora most of the time.
Dude, Gabe uses Pandora.
Yeah.
I wish he was here. I could rack on him. I'm always like, bro, who uses Pandora right now, dude? There's some Gen Z who are like, what the fuck is Pandora?
Yeah.
You were just a vocalist, or did you play an instrument too?
I can play guitar, a little bit of bass, kind of the drums. I can keep the semi-steady beat, but yeah, vocals is my my gig. Yeah.
I always wondered, like, guys back then in like the 80s, like the sex, drugs, and rock and roll phase, how did they get so good? I can't.
I know, right?
I can't picture them practicing.
Yeah,
right? I can't picture them like
Yeah.
studying like music theory.
Especially recording back then. It was like one take fucking
Like, where did
recording.
they learn it? Like
like
I
solos
just can't
and
imagine
stuff.
learning.
Or they would record in just live in a room.
We're live in
Yeah.
a room. I spoke.
Now
to
everything
about
is
that.
everything
It's
is separate. And even if you want to like nail a solo, you can go note by note,
that's
piece
crazy.
it together, and then yeah.
And they're like, let's see how good that was.
Yeah,
like you
dude.
can't even play that, dude.
Yeah,
Stop.
like recording on tape, bro. Insane.
Insane.
That's why recording used to cost so much fucking money back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's all Pro Tools. It's like, oh, you fucked up. Just delete it. Do it again.
I was listening to something on like I play a lot of like not DJ sets, but it's like they'll have a picture and then they'll play music. Sometimes jazz music on like YouTube, and I'll play that on the background as I'm
Yeah, just like background
cleaning on
noise.
Sundays or some shit like
Yeah,
that. And my girlfriend, she's a musician, and she was always like, "Oh, that's," and she told me like, "Oh, that's not a." I think it was like a bass or maybe even a trumpet. Can't remember which one of those two it was, but it was one of the two. She's like, "That's a keyboard. That's not actually the instrument."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That guy's making the whole thing, and he has just a YouTube channel where he's doing like jazz music, but he's playing everything."
Yep.
And it's just like he's just generating money through just playing, like doing kind of generic jazz music that you can just play through a little thing. I was like, damn, that's good. You're like, because he had like over 1 million views on that video, and if that's his shit, he's killing it.
Yeah, it's like a lot of like lo-fi stations are like that. It's like chill lo-fi music. I don't know if you've ever seen like the girl like typing on the computer with like a cat in the background.
Yes.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Yeah. Gets mad plays.
And then she told me, she's like, yeah, library music. It's like a very, it's like a genre.
Or elevator music.
Elevator music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a genre on its own, of like music that just like background shit.
Yeah. Is that how you know you're getting old? Because I kind of like caught myself the other day. I was like cleaning the house, like doing dishes and stuff, and I had that shit on. I was like, I'm gonna put on some Black Dahlia Murder.
You're like, what am I doing right now?
I just turned 40 and shit, but I'm not that old.
Oh man, I am that old. I feel it.
Even the Seinfeld bass line, that's not on a bass. That was played and recorded on a keyboard.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Damn.
It can be played on bass, but yeah, I think the original was on keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm living a lie.
Yeah.
This is wild.
But it's funny, like talking about the music industry and stuff, it was very easy for me to like transition over to the tattoo industry, just because it kind of goes in like lockstep. Not just with metal, but with like any type of music. I feel like musicians are always getting tattooed.
Yeah.
Tattooers love music. So it's just it's like a happy marriage, you know?
Yeah.
It's very, very easy transition. And the industry side of it is kind of similar as well. As far as like networking and like the inner workings of like, you know, sponsors and companies and stuff.
Were you lasering any of your bandmates?
I haven't yet. They're kind of being pussies about it.
Dude, I just thought about this. Like, do you feel a lot more comfortable with telling people now, like, dude, that tattoo sucks. You should totally get it lasered.
Oh,
like,
yeah. 100%. They're like, I don't know. I want to cover. I'm like, dude, just let me laser it twice and then you're good.
You're like, what the fuck is that, dude? That sucks. You
Yeah.
should really take that out, bro.
Yeah, I keep busting my bass player Mark his balls because he has like a really faded wolf on his forearm. I'm like, dude, just let me hit it once or
Hit
twice.
that thing up.
Let's do it. It's all gray wash.
Stop being a bitch.
Yeah, it's not even gonna hurt that
Mark.
For real. Dude.
Thanks to the dirties, by the way, Mark.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, these are actually really good. Dirty
Yeah.
water. And it's gluten free.
Because it's seltzer.
Very
Yeah, I was gonna say,
important.
why is there gluten on drinks?
Well, there's gluten in beer.
There's gluten in beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Dude, I used to be able to crush like 30 beers in a night in my tour days. I have 2 beers now. I'm like, that's why the seltzer's where it's at, man.
Yeah, seltzer's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Gabe can't drink like most beers, right?
Oh, the gluten, right. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Depends because like a lot of like the gluten stuff, like pasta and stuff,
Mhm.
if you get it like really, really good, like, not like store bought, like in a box, if you get it like locally made and shit from like some Italian dude, it's usually pretty good. Not going to fuck you up too bad. But they spray like pesticides and shit on
So
meat and
much stuff.
Yeah.
on so much stuff. It's like, yeah, you can feel the difference like right away.
I've been watching a lot of Epicurious. Have you ever heard of this channel?
No.
It's a YouTube channel where they like have chefs all try out like over the counter, like ramen, pasta, pizza, like stuff that you can just buy at the grocery store. And through watching these chefs like try these things, I realized I was like, holy shit, there is so much crap
Yeah.
in food that's in the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like they'll literally just try something. They're like, "Oh yeah, they added this to create this." Like, even, like with pizza, they're like, "Oh, they added this to just to make it real fluffy
Yep.
and like get that nice like thicker crust." Like, and I'm like, "Damn, dude, I'm fucking." And they're like, "This is this brand, dude," and they all would know the brand, and they were all like chefs that were like they would work with companies to make these recipes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they could like try like 10 ramens and tell you like, oh, it tastes like this. And it would be that brand, like, oh, I got it right again.
Yeah.
I was like, this is incredible, dude.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. People's palates are insane, especially when they work in the food industry.
Yeah.
They could like pick it out of a lineup.
So surprising. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, dude. And I was like, wow, I don't want to eat anything from the supermarket. I want to work a little bit more and like make things. It's just like, fuck. Too much crap being
Yeah.
ingested.
Yeah, you ever see the posts on like, oh, well, I ate this as a kid and I'm fine. Like they'll have like a McDonald's, Happy Meal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then they'll show what Happy Meals were made of, like the ingredients in the Happy Meal 30, 40 years ago compared to what the ingredients are now. And back 30, 40 years ago, there was just a couple of ingredients. And now it's like a whole grocery list of like all
gross.
chemicals.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
yeah, this is
Don't
why
want to
it's
go
not
down
good
the
for
food
you.
rabbit hole right now. It's like,
yeah, it's so bad. So
there's
bad.
so much bullshit in our food, especially like touring abroad and coming home. The difference is insane. Just like
Yeah.
going to Europe every day and like eating pretty much like the same way I would eat here, and I would lose weight over there and
Yeah.
feel so much better. Than you come here and you just feel like shit and bloated and like it's like, dude,
What is happening
Come on.
the side?
there's something going on here.
There is. What?
Don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. All right? Let's not go down that road.
We're not going to put our tinfoil hats today,
Yeah.
guys.
Not without Gabe.
Not without
Yeah.
Gabe. I'm sad Gabe's not here because I was ready to bring my tinfoil hat on. Oh my God. So funny.
Yeah.
Well, we're about an hour in.
Yeah, we're about an hour in.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, man, if they want to come get some laser from you?
If you want to come get laser, you can find me at Gotham Tattoo Removal. You can find me personally at Tim Ruins. You can find the shop at Everblack Tattoo Studio, and you can find the band at Blood Throne Official.
Fuck yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. You've done your press.
Yeah. It's crazy because I run all 4 socials, so I'm like,
Ouch.
Ah,
it's a lot. It's
that's
a lot.
work.
Yeah.
That's the work. That's one part. Actually, before we leave, I wanted to ask you that. How has been the work that you've had to put in through to get this business going as far as tattoo removal?
It was tough in the beginning because the way things ended where I was working before was not so good. So I kind of had to start from square one.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been like a boots to the ground kind of guy. So I just hit the ground, hopped on my bike and went to shop, started
Talk to people.
shaking hands and kissing babies, that kind of thing. Just dropping cards off at shops and, continuing the relationships I already had, just letting them know that I'm starting something new.
Mm-hmm.
And then figuring out Google marketing and all that kind of stuff. And then social media starting from square one. So it was tough in the beginning, but it's kind of rolled pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Into now where I'm like, my client list is like a couple hundred people deep and stuff.
That's
so,
awesome, man. Yeah. And the more people you work with, the more referrals you're going to get.
Absolutely. You're at. Yeah. I love working with tattoo artists and their clients. It's great.
I think that's such a parallel to starting off as a tattoo artist in the beginning and starting to build your business, Like I think too many tattoo artists that start off think that it's going to be enough by just going to your shop and showing up to work and just sitting there and hoping that one person finds your shop and walks in through your door. Yeah. It's not going to work that way.
It doesn't work like that.
You're going to have to go out through your circle of close people that are willing to vouch for you out there in the world and be like, you got to go get tattooed with my friend, bro. He's amazing. Go see him,
Same thing. Because it's like everyone has their guy, It's like, oh, you need your car fixed, go to my guy.
Yeah.
Same thing with tattooing or laser. It goes hand in hand.
For sure.
So that's definitely how I started, and I still operate that way too. I even have like a promotion for my clients. It's called the I Got a Guy special. So if they refer anyone, they get 10% off their first session, and then the person that got referred gets 10% off their next session.
What can people expect to pay per session?
So minimum is $100. That's if you have like a little initial on your finger there. Mm-hmm. Max pricing is $450 per session. That's if you're doing sleeve work. So that's $450 per session per section. Usual pricing is like a palm size tattoo. That's around like $250 per session.
Okay.
And then anything in between kind of varies by size and saturation.
So let's say like $250 per session, max 12 sessions.
Right.
Right. So you're looking at somewhere around like $3,000 ish.
Somewhere around there. I also offer package deals too. I don't like force those on anyone because other places kind of like force those as soon as you walk through the door. It's like, hey, spend $5,000. I'm not going to do that. It's like, hey, I usually tell people, hey, let's do one session, see how it goes, and then we can assess a package depending on what your goals are. If you want to get it faded or if you want it completely gone, then we can kind of fix it, fit it from there. Yeah.
Good shit.
I'm a total package guy. If you tell me that I can save if
you can save money in the long run,
if I can save $1,000, $1,500 because I bought a package, I'm fucking buying that package, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking every time.
Yeah. There's no contracts or anything either. It's like you go at your own pace.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for coming out and actually
dropping some knowledge.
I did my best. I think I
learned so much about laser today, and I hope that you guys learned a lot from it as well and got some value out of this because I surely did.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Hell yeah.
And guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Peace.
Cheers.